Algeria with a 100% record so far. Now the Total Energy. Equatorial Guinea with a 100% record in the other direction, all defeats. As ever, the supporters of Algeria have come in good number. Their green and white flag bedecked all around this stadium. National anthems will of course get us underway. And we will be starting with that. Emilio and Sway back in the side today. Tries to rally his colleagues ahead of this clash. Now though, before we can get underway, the national anthem of Algeria. An enormous roar, passion on the face of these Algerian supporters as we have, well, the man leading out the side today, Ramiz Zerouki, who takes over the armband from Riyad Mahrez, who's been rested today. The Equatorial Guinea lineup shows 6 changes to the team. Change plenty as Coach Juan Micha looks for his first win of the campaign. Be back in the 2027 AFCON in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania next year. The man in the middle today, Pacifique Unda. As for the Algeria lineup today, another Gabonese. The Algeria lineup, easier to talk about the players who remain from that 1-0 victory against Keep your eye on the Maza. He's just 20 years of age and is very much the next generation. So Algeria get us underway in their final Group E game against an Equatorial Guinea side looking to avoid defeat for the first time in the tournament. The North Africans playing from left to right, all in white. And the Equato-Guineans for Equatorial Guinea as they go up against an Algerian side who are looking to win a 3rd straight game in the group. They've played 2, scored 4, conceded none. And the last time, and the only 2 previous times that Algeria have won all 3 games in the group stage of the Africa Cup of Nations, they've gone on to win the competition. Back in 1990 when they conceded once, and 6 years ago in each once. And then they instantly tried to rectify that in Ivory Coast last year. And once again they failed to finish any higher than bottom, drawing twice against Angola and Burkina Faso and then losing their final game at home to Mauritania. Not at home, but their final group game against Mauritania. And a draw would have taken them through. Haj Musa looking to play in Rafik Belhali, who started the first game, played 90 minutes, the Hellas Verona winger. There he is on your screen. 23 years of age, plays it right back and for Algeria. The first touch for Jose Nabil Ondo. Charles Ondo, based in the States with Portland Timbers, as Vladimir Petkovic, the Bosnian in charge of Algeria, looks on. Well, that's touched forward, and that looked as if Haj Musa was caught. No decision from the Burundian referee. And Vladimir Petkovic, just 30-40 yards in front of me to the right-hand side, is having a word with the fourth official, asking why not. Pablo Ganet. Zarouki into Belhali. Maza, nice leap forward. Monsef Bakra. 24-year-old brought into the side today as Haj Musa tries to get to the byline and deliver the cross. Well, certainly deliver the cross. In it goes. Attempted acrobatics. Not going Algeria's way. Fares Shaibi trying a spot of magic and not quite managing to emulate Ayoub El Kaabi of Morocco, who scored 2 overhead kicks so far at this tournament, making something a habit of them. There is an outside chance that should they go all the way, Algeria and Morocco could meet in the semi-finals of this tournament. It'll be a game on the 14th of January. A lot of ifs and buts before we even get anywhere close to that, but what an atmosphere that might be. Mike Nouri just clipped as he played that forward. The Manchester City man, and he's down on the ground, and he does get the free kick. Just one of the 2 to remain in the side. 24-year-old. By Yannick Wheeler. Plays for Numancia in Spain. A lot of players in Equatorial Guinea, either born in Spain or have played their club football in Spain. Equatorial Guinea being the only former Spanish colony even on the continent of Africa. In Sway used to play for Spain as a youth. Haj Musa plays his club football in the Netherlands with Feyenoord. Clipped, gone down again. Well, Asifi Ndabi Hawenimana is not so far convinced by the going to the ground of Haj Musa. Oh, that change. Haj Musa's approach. Fantastic atmosphere from the Algerian supporters. Ganet back into Ondo. Ondo closed down, and Maza just nutmegs Pablo Ganet. Earning huge cheers from the Algerian fans. It's Haj Musa. He's got Bakra in the middle. Tries to play it into him. Cut out, but still he goes now. He does get the foul finally. Well, that's what, the 4th time he's gone down in the opening 10 minutes of the game. And the first time the referee has blown in his favour. Looks like it's going to be quite a tussle against Ondo. And there's the nutmeg. Maza. So Haj Musa standing over it, so too Perez Shaibi. And they sent up the likes of Zinedine Belaid and Mohamed Tugay, the central defensive pairing. And there is Belaid wearing number 5. Haj Musa. Oh, good pace, but far too much height on it. Sinking of the eyes to the floor from Vladimir Petkovic, who has won so far since taking charge in February 2024, just after that humbling Africa Cup of Nations campaign. Jamel Belmadi, the man who oversaw the lifting of the trophy in 2019, Algeria beating Senegal by a 0-0 in the final. Took over a month later, and he's so far won 16 of his 21 matches, just the 2 defeats for Petkovic. Very much having steadied the ship and started to get Algeria playing at their best. Nwono looking for Unsue. Equatorial Guinea will pick this up over on the far side. He's got Unsue behind him. Wheeler. The Olays already ringing out. Mike Nouri. Certainly got the footwork to get himself out of tight corners, but on that occasion loses possession. As do Equatorial Guinea. Bakra. Haj Musa to his right-hand side, and that's where he goes. Skips past Dondo. Abdelli. Maza. Shaibi. Still Shaibi. Striker goal. And the man who's got 2 goals from what is now 25 international appearances. Not convincing with the strike. Maybe based in Germany for the last couple of years with Eintracht Frankfurt. Started the first game, dropped for the second, and now back in for this third. A result, as said, which will make little difference, whatever it is today, given that Algeria cannot be caught at the top of the group, and Equatorial Guinea cannot finish higher than bottom. It will be a fierce battle, though, in the day's other game between Sudan and Burkina Faso in Casablanca. Whoever finishes second in Group E will meet the winners of Group F. That's the group with Ivory Coast, the reigning African champions, and Cameroon, the 5-time winners of this tournament. The third team from the group, whoever finishes third, will meet Senegal. It doesn't get much easier than that because they lifted the trophy 3.5 years ago. So a tough task for whoever makes it through. Nabil Londo. Omar Mascarell is in La Liga with Mallorca. Very late international call-up, only making his Equatorial Guinea debut last year. He's currently 32. Formerly a youth international with Spain and developed at Real Madrid, where he made 1 first-team appearance. The man wearing number 5 for Equatorial Guinea today. So the Unzalang Nacional, as they're known, the National Thunder, with a free kick. Saul Coco. His own goal against Sudan last time around cost Equatorial Guinea so dear. It could all have been so different as they enter stoppage time on match day 1 against Burkina Faso. Equatorial Guinea were leading by a goal to nil, and then they got sucker punched by the Stallions, who equalised first 5 minutes into stoppage time through Georgie Minungu, and then who grabbed the winner in the 98th minute. And Equatorial Guinea, well, it's not the first time that's happened to them, because the last tournament in Ivory Coast last year, after topping their group in the round of 16, they were beaten by Guinea, who also scored in the 98th minute of the match. The latest ever goal in a knockout stage of an Africa Cup of Nations. It all followed a quite remarkable group stage campaign by Equatorial Guinea, who somehow topped a group involving Ivory Coast, the hosts, and Nigeria, with both those sides going on to reach the final. Nonetheless, it was the far less fancied Zelang Nacional who emerged on top of Group A. And in their final group game in Ivory Coast last year, they beat the hosts by 4 goals to nil, one of the biggest upsets in the Nations Cup. And at that point, it looks as if the Elephants of Ivory Coast were out of the tournament. That's a lovely flick from Hadj Moussa into the middle. It goes, and across the face of goal. Driven in by Maza. Bakra cannot get a touch. Still Algeria have it. That's nice footwork. Abdelli goes deep on this occasion to Hadj Moussa, who's got time to control. No one around him. Striker goal. Deflects up and high. Belhali cannot get it. Well, that looked like handball from Pablo Gannet, and the Algerian supporters are very much claiming that. Nothing as yet from the official. Well, that really did look as though it hit the hand of the Equatorial Guinea defender. Algeria having profited from a penalty last time around against Burkina Faso when Ryan Ait-Nouri was fouled, and Riyad Mahrez stepped up from the spot midway through the opening half to ensure that after beating Sudan 3-0 on match day 1, Algeria followed that up with victory. Far more slender against Burkina Faso, a far more tough opponent. 1-0 it ended. Well, Petkovic is still talking to the 4th official about that handball that he saw, and I think I did too. Hadj Moussa, nice skills from Hadj Moussa. He's gone one way, then the other, strikes a goal, deflected, and that'll be a corner to the North Africans. And so far, he's twisting and turning his opposite number. This is 11th cap today, the final man. Right to score, made his debut last year. Hadj Moussa with the delivery. In it goes, flicked on and flicked in. And Algeria lead, 19 minutes on the clock, and Zinedine Belaid is the man who breaks the deadlock early on. It has not taken Algeria long. The man who's coming to the side today, like many, time and space in the area, and he rose and buried that past Jesus Owonu, who could not save. And Algeria are in front. Terrific delivery from Ibrahim Maza. Sorry, not from Ibrahim Maza, Hadj Moussa. Belaid, look at that, glancing header, no one on the back post. Guided it home very, very well. The man who plays his club football in Algeria with JS Kabylie, the most successful team in the Algerian club game. Flare lit over on the far side, as you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, but fallen to the floor, and you can see the smoke coming out have taken the lead in every single game they've played here. Given they have yet to concede. It's going to be a tough ask for Equatorial Guinea to come back. Just the one goal they've scored so far. As Algeria are rampant. Maza, Zarouki, Belhali looking to play it back into Maza. Has to get high. Terrific ball in and over the top, and that could so easily have been two. Shaibi found by a delicious pick out from Haj Musa. And he just couldn't keep the shot down. He didn't need the power, he just needed to touch it past. 1-0. Just got too much on it. The 23-year-old. The chances beginning to tot up for Algeria, who are in flying form. And Nigeria getting amongst it with a heady clearance from outside his area. Got the finger from Abdelli, who's based in France with Angers. Came on for the last 3 minutes of the last game for what was his Africa Cup of Nations debut. Now he has his first start. He's had a good year at club level with Angers. He's physical, technical, creative. He's very much a player who could really make a difference at the later stages in this tournament for Algeria. All his career in France, where he's gradually been rising up the divisions from the third to the second, and then for the last 3 seasons with Angers in Ligue 1. This is only his 6th cap today as he just shoves Mascarell to the floor. Pablo Gallet. Mascarell. All the way back to Jesus Awano, the first footballer from Equatorial Guinea to ever play in La Liga, the 24-year-old. Still on the books of a La Liga side. Alaves loaned out to Andorra in the 2nd tier of Spanish football. Just a handful of appearances in La Liga so far. Logano looking for options up front, but instead playing it back into Saul Coco, who's based in Italy with Torino. They are streaming forward here. Shaibi, Bakra on the left-hand side. Bakra goes for goal. And he puts his head in his hands because he knows that he didn't get the power that he wanted there. Very, very comfortable save for the Equatorial Guinea goalkeeper. Belhali to Hamid Tugay, making his first start of the tournament. Another nice turn away from Mascarell and releases Shaibi. Shaibi in an ocean of space. He's got options, and he drives it into the roof of the net. Having taken his time, he sized it up And he made no mistake to double Algeria's lead. 2 goals in 6 minutes for the North Africans, who are threatening to run away with this. Shaibi has his first goal in 2 years. His third for Algeria. And he just had so much time and space. Didn't he use it well? Held the line inside the fullback. And then here, just a little check as he skipped past Marvin Aniebo. The right back for Equatorial Guinea, and then just powered it past Iwono, who didn't have a hope of stopping that thunderous strike from Shaibi. Just a few moments after Belaid's opener. It means that Algeria are cruising, and they really look in the mood to get even more goals today. They are going to enjoy this afternoon, just as they have in their previous games so far. They are making the Moulay El Hassan Stadium in the Moroccan capital very much a home from home. They will, as said, meet the Congolese here in 6 days' time. And there will be some atmosphere for the Leopards to face. Equatorial Guinea have a free kick, and just a moment or two just to relieve some of the pressure on their own back line. Nabil Ondo brought to the floor, just 20 years of age, plays his football in the 5th tier of French football with Nantes Bay, the reserve side of Nantes. Despite his tender age, this is actually his 2nd Africa Cup of Nations, Nabil Ondo. Well, Equatorial Guinea, if they're going to get something out of this game, they need to start producing something special pretty soon. And they've sent up 6 players in and around the penalty spot as the Burundian official makes sure he's happy with everything. Swung in, and that is defensive responsibility assumed at the back by Mohamed Tougai. He doesn't necessarily have the pace, the 25-year-old, but he certainly has the positioning, the height and the experience as well. He's a very, very solid central defender as Tougai. Pablo Ganek gets it back. The last ball in was good, and this is just hit too hard and forcing the save from Mandrea, who has to tip it behind for a corner to Equatorial Guinea. A nice shape, nice bend. A bit too much height, but Mandrea was scrabbling. Played every minute of last year's tournament in Ivory Coast. Didn't keep a single clean sheet. This only his 2nd appearance of the year. Swung in and headed away. Bakar, Dinamo Zagreb forward. No doubt endearing himself to his colleagues. Well, as you can see in the group standings, Burkina Faso lead against Sudan. Should it stay like that, they will be the ones who will be going into the top half of the draw. The bottom half of the draw, this Africa Cup of Nations, is looking so much tougher. South Africa already in it, Morocco too, Algeria, the Congolese have said, Nigeria. It is going to be some feat for whoever gets to the semi-finals, let alone the final itself on the 18th of January. Ondo looking for Nabil Ondo. And Ramiz Zarouki, the SC20 player, just nudging it out. Nearing 50 caps for Algeria is Zarouki. Just sit deep in the midfield and break play up. Mascarell, while Nabil Ondo goes down under the challenge from Belhali. Zerouki into Abdelli. The slick surfaces here. The best pitches I've ever seen at a Nations Cup, and my first was way back in 1998. Really do suit Algeria's passing game. As said, so many of these players based outside of Algeria. Only two based on the continent, and that is the central defensive duo of Tougai and Belaïd. Tougai playing with Espérance, former African champions in Tunisia. Haj Moussa gets it back from Belhali. Dancing feet again. Lovely footwork. And to my right, some former internationals are so impressed by Haj Moussa and the trickery that he's showing with that left foot of his. And he is causing no end of problems for Charles Ondo. I wish he was not making his first start of the tournament today. Shaibi to Maza, based in Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. Zerouki, Abdelli just playing it through the lines. Haj Moussa again, ball in again. Oh, they are scoring every time they come forward. Ibrahim Maza, he's only 20 years of age. He's one of the youngest players ever to play for Algeria at a Nations Cup. And he has got 2 goals already. And Haj Moussa is causing huge problems down this right-hand side. And Equatorial Guinea cannot live with them. Well, the question is, what might this end up as? Given time and space, Maza a little deflection, helping it past Awano of Esteban Orozco, the central defender for Equatorial Guinea. As you can see, Awano with no hope, and no wonder he has a face like thunder. The great campaigns that Equatorial Guinea played in years gone by must be seeming very, very distant to them. This is the first time they haven't got to the knockout phase. Quarter-finalists in their maiden tournament in 2012 when co-hosting, and then they hosted in 2015 and reached the semi-finals, finishing 4th. And they qualified outright for the tournament in Cameroon when they reached the quarters. Arguably a more impressive feat to do it on home soil. And then last time around in Ivory Coast, well, they were simply sensational. They beat the Ivorians by 4-0 in Abidjan on home soil, the team that became the champions. It was a phenomenal display, and they are looking a shadow of that side. And when they beat the Elephants by that huge victory, and Sway scoring 2, and it led to the resignation of Jean-Louis Gasset, the French coach in charge of Ivory Coast. He decided that the team needed an electric shock, was the quote I read. And when he left, well, there is a man who does look shocked. Gasset walked out, as I understand it. He hid himself as he left the airport in Abidjan because the federation didn't want him to go, and he knew the fans weren't happy with him either. He slipped out of the country, and as Faye came in, and Ivory Coast were a team reborn, beating Senegal in the knockout phase, coming from behind to beat Mali in dramatic fashion, equalising goal at the end of the 90 minutes, a goal very late in extra time to win it. And in the final, they saw off an impressive Nigeria side. And to think that many of the players on the pitch today contributed to that thumping defeat. And yet, In truth, this is a side that possibly seems to be aging and in need of a rebuild. Mascarell. Sal Coco into Esteban. Broken up. Alex Balboa. Sway. Gannett. And Sway thought he had it off the knockdown from Alex Balboa. Talking of former glories, he's the cousin of the former Equatorial Guinea international Javier Balboa. And a handful of appearances for Real Madrid. Played for Benfica, but it was his displays at the 2015 tournament that hit the heights on home soil, scoring against Gabon in the quarterfinals scoring the goal against Gabon to put Equatorial Guinea into the quarterfinals, and then scoring twice against Tunisia to send the Equatorial into the semi-finals. The second, a stunning free kick in extra time. They seem distant days now, and they are in danger of being humiliated here, Equatorial Guinea, just as they did to Ivory Coast in January last year. Maza to Belhali. Dispossessed. Wheeler. And Algeria recover in the concession of a throw. 27 years of age now, Wheeler. His first start of the tournament as well. Coco. Ondo. By Belhali. Coco again. Maniabo. And he scored Equatorial Guinea's only goal of the tournament, the right back. Really impressive header. Just 5 minutes from time against Burkina Faso on match day 1. Turning home a corner. They have not scored since. Free kick goes their way. And Wheeler brought down again. And until this tournament, Equatorial Guinea had never lost 2 games in the group phase. They are now looking as though they're going to lose all 3, and a 4th in a row of the tournament. Stretching back to Ivory Coast last year. Free kick goes Algeria's way. Zarouki, the man down. He'll be delighted to play the Nations Cup and have better memories, because his only previous 2 appearances in the tournament were in 2024 and 2022. Maza's also down. As Belaid took it really well for his first international goal for his country. Shaibi, just 6 minutes later. His first goal. And then Maza with the 3rd. Blistering start from Algeria, surely putting this game to bed despite its relative infancy. And if this is the B team, you may wonder what the first team are like, and we're going to find out properly. As the knockout phases begin, and what a knockout phase of this competition. We are surely going to see all the big guns through. Beautiful surfaces, cool conditions enabling high-paced, high-tempo football. Unlike many tournaments in the past in sub-Saharan Africa where the heat can be debilitating, especially those early kickoffs. We don't have that at all here. Wintry conditions. They have really helped the pace of the games. Alex Balboa. Regular at Torino in Serie A. Sway dropping deep. Manu plays it right back for his club in the lower tiers of French football now. Not French football, Spanish football now in the 4th tier. The side into City. Subject of Nsue, just remarkable. 3 months after winning the Golden Boot at the last AFCON, FIFA declared him ineligible to play for his nation despite over a decade of international appearances, saying he had never received clearance to formalise his switch from Spain, where he was a youth. He won the European Championships at youth level, under 19, under 21 as well. And then it was almost a year before he was officially cleared to play for Equatorial Guinea, having argued to football's world governing body that he was eligible to play for his nation since birth because of the nature of the Equato-Guinean constitution, which says that anybody who is the son of a Equato-Guinean is instantly an Equato-Guinean, and his father is from Equatorial Guinea. He played in the early stages of the World Cup qualifying campaign and Sway. He scored match winners against both Namibia and Liberia, but they were overturned as a result of his then ineligibility. This is his 50th appearance today. He's got a 1-2 record. He is the all-time top scorer for Equatorial Guinea. And as I said, he played for over a decade without ever having received clearance. Pretty remarkable, but he's back on the pitch today, and he's back on the ball, playing it into Pablo Ganet. Ganet with the strike into the side netting. Well, that is the closest by a country mile that Equatorial Guinea. And we've come to opening the scoring, and it's some of the old guard. Pablo Ganet scored a fantastic free kick against the Ivorians in that 4-0 defeat. Combining with Nsue, both these players international teammates for a decade. Maza incredibly deep to pick it up, the attacking midfielder. Belaid strides forward round the corner into Belhali. Algeria looking for a 4th at the end of this half, and Shaibi just couldn't get the contact. Nice sweeping move from Algeria from one end of the pitch to the other in just seconds. Shaibi unable to get the contact for his second, his side's 4th. Equatorial Guinea must be desperate to get into the dressing room. Can Juan Micha say to change things around? Outplayed, outfought, and outnumbered in the stands as well. Alex Balboa goes down under the challenge from Zarouki. Still they have it though, Equatorial Guinea, and Sway cannot control. Nouri just feed it in to Shaibi, who plays a nice ball over the top too. Nouri on the 4, they're just finding the pockets of space. Coco very nervously, mindful of Bakar ghosting in behind him. Abdelli. Esteban. Just the 2 minutes of additional time. Mercifully brief for Equatorial Guinea. So Ruki's clearance picked up by Nouri as Algeria keep possession. Training exercise at times for them. This is the sort of stuff they practice, keeping the ball in just these sorts of areas, and now they open it up and free Belhali, who's in a ton of space. Out to Haj Musa. Haj Musa round the corner into Belhali, just too much on it. Well read by Koko. Nabil Londo plays it short. Belhali, he's got Mazza to his left-hand side. Mazza in a lot of space. He's just taken too long. Here it is, into Mazza. Looking to make it two. Into the middle it goes. They're taking their time. Super save from Owono to deny Bakra getting on the score sheet as well. Well, that would have been 4 different scorers in this opening period. Owono stands firm. Tugay into Belhali, who's popped up on the left flank, the right back. Tugay, Olay's ringing around, free kick Algeria's way. Well, they're going to have to take this quickly, because there is not too much time. Look at that, a really strong right arm from Owono. He thought he had his first international goal, the 24-year-old. Only made his debut in March. The man based in Croatia, Dinamo Zagreb, where he's a club mate of international teammate Ismail Benacer. Shaibi standing over it, so too Haj Musa. They have been lively on both flanks, these two. Arguably favours the right footer, and it is Shaibi who takes it. And Owono spills it behind for the corner. I'm not sure there's going to be time to take it. No indication from the official as we go into a 3rd minute. Perhaps he's being taken by the incessant Algeria attacks. No, corner taken. The half-time whistle blows. And a torrid opening period for Equatorial Guinea comes to an end because they have been blown away by Algeria. Zinedine Belaid opened the floodgates after 19 minutes before Fares Shaibi and that man Ibrahim Mazza added goals. It was 3-0 just after the half hour. Algeria in cruise control. The second half to come at half-time in the Moroccan capital, Rabat. It is Equatorial Guinea 0, Algeria 3.